Hello, hello. How's it going? What's up? Hopefully everything's working here. I don't know. What is this? Oh, no. Still get out of here. What's up, guys? How's it going? I'm Squeetee, as everybody knows, I hope. Uh, you can come find me here, squeetee.com, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, a lot of stuff on. All my stuff's on YouTube, basically. So please come join, have a good time, watch and entertain. We're gonna watch the live broadcast of Ashes of Creation's live stream today, basically, and we're just gonna see what they have to say. I have no idea what they're gonna do, what they're gonna say. We'll find out in about a minute. Hopefully they're on time. They might not be. They're all over the place. But we shall see how things go. Oh, and if you want to get some cool, I'm going to throw this out there right away. Some cool, dope Gundam stickers. Like this kind of stuff. I got a bunch of different kinds. I got heads shaped ones. Go to squeetee.com. I have a link to my shop. Go check it out. They're pretty cheap for what they are and designed and manufactured and all that fun stuff. So go check it out. Go buy some. I'd appreciate it if you did. I'm trying to get my little shop business off the ground. If you got any ideas, sticker related or, could be 500 other different items. But I got so many here. I got 65 more designs on the way too, which is a lot. I think I over purchased, but that's fine. Well, here we go. Let me make sure you can hear them. Jack up their volume. I will have commentary over their talking, so deal with it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our glorious
70% good.
November development update.
Let me know if it's too low.
Been having a wonderful month. It has been a long one for us, even though it's like short. So, because of the holidays, it just makes everything so crammed back for us. So we're like trying to make sure we get everything done.
Is Steven at a hotel again, or is he at his house?
Two sprints in a different room. In development, we use like sprints and milestones to do our calculations of what we're going to be doing. And milestones. It gets a little hectic, yeah, because everyone's just trying to power through. But everyone is amazing and doing rocking and rolling and kicking major butts.
Yeah, it's always.
Oh, go ahead.
It's always interesting. The end of the year, we have these two back-to-back streams in November and December, and then our longest stream until the end of January.
That's true, because January is so long. That's true.
Yes.
But of course, I'm Margaret Crone. I'm the Director of Communications here at Intrepid Studios. And with me, as always, is Stephen Sharif, our Creative Director. And we have a whole slew of things for you. We have some quick reminders. We're going to try to go through this pretty quick. Artisanship preview, which I think a lot of you crafters out there are probably really excited about this. We've had a lot of
Artisanship preview.
And of course, this is going to be more of our core function stuff. Title now. Super in-depth. In regards to like manual crafting, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. And of course, if you have questions, feel free to pop those into the Twitch channel, Discord, and of course we have a watch party on Discord right now. So there's a lot of places for you to interact with us. Our community team is full throttle, so of course we are always pulling those in after those segments as well. And then we'll have like a quick little studio update, art update, and then Q&A as well. Like our forum Q&A that we always pull from. But before we do that, we do have our spotlight. Whoops, wrong one. There we go. Our spotlight comment. So if you on our development updates, leave a comment, subscribe to us.
Leave that alone for now.
You may be selected. Make sure that you have it so that we can see that you're subscribed to us, and then you will maybe get your comment selected. It's random. So today's comment is from Pa Beats, and they would like to know, it's less of a question, more of a statement. Caravans are my #1 most loved feature when it comes to MMOs. This is it. I will pre-order the game first thing.
That's what you're excited about?
First time in like 15 years. P.S. Would love to see the other side of that feature. specifically
Okay,
how
cool.
a party of
Sounds
robbers
good.
attacks a caravan,
I'm always
and
panicking
how they
about
can
sound.
then flee and sell it to a fence or something of that sort. And yeah, I figure we could talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
This
Yeah,
is more
Sure.
absolutely.
of a statement.
Steven's like, I don't want
Just
Yeah,
so
to.
no,
you
I
know, we showed off caravans, so if you're curious about those, definitely
I
check that out.
there's a lot of people in the studio that share that excitement for caravans as a system. It is the epitome of risk versus reward, obviously, and knowing that that is a core pillar of a lot of the systems design in
Such a
Ashes.
pain in the butt.
Caravans represent that very well. It took a lot of work to kind of kick caravans to a place that felt good, both from a drivability perspective, but also from a customization perspective as it relates to crafting unique components and creating these vehicles that live in stalls that are located at different nodes, and kind of their summoning mechanic, and leveraging them for the transit of these cargo and materials that are so vital to the economy.
You shouldn't do it this way.
All of that in a fantasy world. You might see that in games like an Eve or something that's a little bit more sci-fi with transport,
Hey,
but
Alan,
it's not often
I'm
seen in
zero
fantasy
working.
style games. And so I think that's super
Zero.
cool. Obviously, when we talk about the PvP element of them and that risk, I am happy to announce that in January we will be showcasing this. Is, I guess, a little bit of a leak of things to come, but we will be showcasing a large PvP battle around caravans, and you guys will get to see a little bit of the caravan raft take place as well. We
Please
should
do.
be in
Thank
a
you.
good spot for that come January. So that's going to be
God, this
really
computer
exciting, I
is
think,
slow.
for people to see. I know that we've had the
No,
last few
Chromebook.
streams have been kind of focused around mechanics within Ashes that aren't combat or PvP related. That's a good thing, because what makes the world go round in Vera is obviously those types of systems, and it makes the events where player conflict does occur that much more exciting because of how much it took to kind of set the stage for a high risk reward type encounter, and that's what caravans are all about. So January is going to be a really fun thing to see, I believe, and you guys are going to be
There's definitely a lot
surprised.
of questions regarding the PvP element of just our game in
More
general. And of course,
PvP.
when
More
we
of the
showcased
time.
caravan system, there were a lot of follow-up questions in regards to how PvP would play into that. And of course, we had already planned to share that, but the caravan system alone is such an in-depth system, and the PvP on top of that is. So we just split those up. Hopefully, you all understand that. And of course, we didn't want to put too much pressure on those teams right back to back.
Fair
So,
enough.
kind of giving a little love here and there. But of course,
All I'm trying to do is
I
change the
think
title
I
of my
misspoke
YouTube
last
stream.
month. I meant to say that
It is so difficult
in
without my main computer.
December, like at the end of the year, we are going to share the quarter. I believe that's what we had said earlier on as well when we announced the 2024 Alpha 2 timeline as well. And I think I misspoke and said next live stream when I meant to say like at the end of the year. So we will be announcing what quarter Alpha 2 will be next live stream in December's live stream, to make it very clear.
I like it.
Not,
What
not
quarter?
too far away.
Yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Quarter two.
We're only a few weeks away from that. Actually.
Quarter two.
Yeah, that's true. We're not that far away.
Yes.
Yeah,
we got a lot of testing that's been going on over the course of this month, and obviously December is going to be a big month when it comes to testing as well. I made a little bit of commentary about that in the Discord. Things are heating up for sure, but I do want to temper expectations. I want to remind everybody that this is alpha testing, right? And so because of that, you can look historically at how far the game has come year after year, the improvements that get made, and what we're about to show you right now, which is a little over an hour long showcase.
Oh Lord!
All things artisanship, right? I made a post in Discord yesterday that just went over kind of all the types of updates that we're going to see, and I want to reiterate them here before we actually move to the video segment. And I know a lot of you guys take your hour break to kind of watch this.
I'm not for promotion on your channel.
Live
blah,
stream.
blah blah blah. I don't care if I have
I'm sorry. I
nation
thought that
up.
was my cue. No, go through the reminders and then I'll do that. Oh, okay,
no,
go.
Okay.
You're good.
But yeah, I just wanted to kind of let people know that that was a misspoke on my side. And of course, we do want to thank you all for helping us raise money for Extra Life. What an amazing campaign that we had as a team. You're wonderful. I mean, we can't thank you guys enough for what you've done for
that was
Rating
this
Children.
month. I feel like that was a year ago already.
I know. But we did put an article up. It also has like the winners too, and all the winners have been reached out to and given their rewards. I think the last of rewards are thank you videos.
I finally got the name
right after this and sending out. So
the
everyone should be
name
getting all
updated.
of their things or have information on when your things are going to be shipped to you. So I just wanted to reiterate that to folks.
I did not watch that stream whatsoever. I can't believe I didn't watch any of it.
A last parting comment regards to Extra Life. Those of you who didn't
I
get
gotta
to
go
participate
back.
or didn't get to take a look, I think that as a community we need to celebrate our accomplishments, and it is a really cool thing that we as a community have come together over the course of the last several years to raise over $325,000 for
I was
Rady
dying.
Children's Hospital, and that is truly something that is unique about the Ashes community. I mean, we're not even in our game yet playing, right? And we have come together as a community very strongly and are capable of doing these things that help others and demonstrate the quality of what it means to be an Ashes of Creation community member. And that's something that I think is very unique, and it's something that we should be proud of, and that we should carry with us to the other gaming communities that we are a part of. And you know, we're all an eclectic bunch of gamers. We enjoy lots of different games. The cause that Extra Life presents, I think, is a worthwhile one, and it is something that touches the hearts of people who are gamers just like you and I, like Margaret and I, and it's really something that's
I wonder if he knew a child
for us to come together and perform like that. So kudos to you
guys
out in the community. That is truly something remarkable.
And I can't wait to see what even crazier things we get to do in the future as we get closer and closer to launch, and then post-launch as well, and how we can integrate Ashes of Creation into more of those type of things. So thank you all. And of course, our community is just amazing as a whole. So we love how much you all interact with us on all of the platforms. So keep that up. And I know it's only going to get crazier when we start doing more guild stuff, because we are definitely going to expand to more of that as we get like in-game and do that kind of stuff.
Damn right we will.
Important. But of course,
damn right. I can't wait for that.
You that we do have some dev discussions up. We have our dev discussion for respawn times. So if you have not partaken in that, we are going to be wrapping up a recording for that. So please feel free to pop in there, give us some of your thoughts. Of course, you can, even after our reporting, still continue to give us feedback. We always go back and double check things, but did want to do that. And of course, I wanted to give you a little teaser. Wagner shared that the next one will be on drop rarity. And so if you have feelings and thoughts on drop rarity, which I know most of y'all out there,
yeah, he is.
Definitely give us your thoughts.
He's in a different room every stream when he's at home, and it's truly a mansion.
I don't have an
true mansion.
More of a surprise thing. We always do something kind of cool and fun or silly during the holidays, but our next one is going to be a bonus dev discussion. It's going to be a special holiday delicious dev discussion.
And each section of his house is really totally themed like too. And like this is a dark hardwood.
Stuff for those who enjoy cooking and things of that sort. You definitely want to head over to the forums next week and vote on which Varen holiday recipe you would like to see. And we'll be putting some of those out to share with you guys for the holiday season. And hopefully some people will make them and then send us pictures.
Yeah, that would be super cool. What if some people did make them and we had a little bit of like some alpha keys that we gave out for the best version of those recipes?
Alpha keys.
That could be interesting.
That'd be hard. We'd have to do a whole campaign
Oh, that's
for that.
true.
But
that's true. We could do community voting.
Yeah, really.
I don't know.
I love to be a creative director.
Margaret's like, Steven, no, quiet.
We might be able to do something like that. Definitely contests in the future, but I think we might be able to give some alpha keys away if people make some stuff and share it with us.
Yeah,
as like bonus, cool. not contest oriented.
Yes,
we'll see.
That's right.
We'll talk. We'll discuss on
that. Oh, I'll make something for you,
and of
Margaret.
Course, just a reminder that the Unseen Order will be ending January 17th. I know that some people just want to make sure that they're being conscious of that. So if you would like a pre-order pack, this is the last time we will be offering a pre-order pack specifically. So if you would like that, definitely head on.
I'll be blunt. I hate that pre-order pack.
That, Steven,
I hate how that all looks. I'm sorry. Maybe the game will look way better, but...
All right, let's everybody breathe together on stream.
All right, Steven.
We want to breathe in.
Let's do this.
Hold and breathe out. Okay. So, As a reminder, this stream is going to be focused on artisanship as a whole. And artisanship in the economy is obviously a very integral component of creating a world where progression matters, where decisions and choices matter. Um, the world state that is constantly in flux and changing around you is very relevant as it relates to supply and demand within the economy. That creates
Come on, stream
opportunity,
catch
but
up.
also creates, unfortunately, downsides and downturns. But that keeps a market interesting, right?
It also
And
makes you
so,
remember things. The times when
yeah,
you're having struggle, when you win and overcome those,
absolutely.
is like the things you remember the most. I mean, imagine your favorite guild moments are usually when you're like, we tried 10 times on the boss, but then we finally
Oh
beat
yeah,
it, right?
a
But if we
hundred
gave
percent.
up.
I mean, some of the some of the more interesting moments that I've had in other games was where there were unique and scarce resources that everyone was contending for, right? And those created, I think, very emergent and dynamic interactions between the players. Obviously, that was interesting. But okay, so what we're going to see today is not just about artisanship. It is also going to be related to several changes that happen within the game over time. And so, being that this is the end of the year or coming close to the end of the year, you're going to see a number of different updates to several different systems. You're
Like
going to
what?
see some updates on the UI front, a little bit more explanation, and perhaps a clearer picture for you as it relates to spatial management and the inventory systems. That's obviously something that is unique to the gathering system. You're going to see significant updates to game lighting. When we showed the night and day cycle in the past, there was a resounding feedback from the community to see a bit darker exploration for the night times to kind of
I
bring that,
agree.
that,
I
that
agree.
field of view in a bit more. And so we've updated that. You're also going to see some significant changes from our tech art team with the skybox and our volumetric clouds. I think it's something that creates a bit more dramatic atmosphere within this video. You're going to
Wait,
see
the
the
clouds are
first
already
showcase
amazing.
of processing and how processing works from a station's perspective. These are going to be
What else are
these
they
are
going to
going
do
to
with the
be
clouds?
systems that allow players within the node who may not have a freehold to still participate in some levels of processing. And that's an important distinction between what's available on freeholds and what's available within nodes. You're going to see get a little bit of insight to to predicate systems that relate to what you can access in the wild. We made this change a while ago that everything is accessible, obviously, from a resource gathering
I,
perspective.
I highly,
However, we do
highly believe
gatekeep
this will
some
be
of the access
way better
points
than
to
Lost Worlds.
progression within the profession. And you're going
Or
to see
new,
the
yeah, thank
certification,
you. I
a
was like,
very
Lost Worlds
low
doesn't
level
seem right, but I'll
certification
go with
process
it.
that's quest driven. You're
New
not going to see
World,
that whole
yes.
certification process, but you are going to see
I thought you were talking about Jurassic
how
Park for a
how
second
those
too.
resources are restricted. You're also going to see some tool making, kind of the initial tools that you'll get as a gatherer, um, which is going to be quest related to start, and then you'll have to be making those tools yourself. You're going to see a little bit of our recipe system and the recipe book, as well as the other crafting stations for those recipes. We're going to be specifically crafting a weapon in this video. And you're not going to see all of the accurate recipe components necessary to craft the weapon, but you are going to see a version of that right now. You're
That's
also
fine.
going to see something that you haven't seen since Alpha 1. Which is our corruption zones. And the corruption zones um,
Working?
are something obviously that changes within the world state. And the world state is a very important aspect of what resources are available at what time. Corruption spreads as players do not respond to it appropriately. It can be the predicate for events, it can be the predicate for story arcs to kick off. And it does dynamically change the spawners within the world. Something that's unique, obviously, to Ashes of Creation is that world state change affecting the supply and demand of resources. And you're going to see a little bit of our adaptive resource, and from that, you're going to see a little bit of our adaptive resource gathering tech updates, where you see those
Okay.
resources change from night to day or from corrupt to not corrupt. And then
Okay,
there is
that's
going to be a
cool.
little bit of a leak of a couple of Ranger skills. I will give you another leak that next month we are going to be doing the Ranger Showcase again. There's 18 new abilities within the Archetype kit that we're going to show off.
Oh, man.
And I think that you guys will have a fun time with that.
I thought they
But we
weren't
did
going to
have to
have
dispatch
Ranger
a few
ability
wolves
blow,
while
like
we were out looking
class
for resources
blows,
during this
the skills.
live stream. So with that being said, I do want to leave off with the last disclaimer. As you all know what I'm about to say,
Oh,
this
no.
is still alpha. Yes, that's right. This is still alpha. This is still a work in progress. Things only get better from this point forward, but as is our responsibility, we want to show you how things are progressing, and we want to do so that you're able to provide us feedback on the directionality you
things
see
better
through
get
these
better.
showcases, and can let us know how this relates to your experiences, how this is something you want to see, or what you would change differently. So keep in mind, as you're watching, what are the points of feedback that you want to give us? You can give them to us on YouTube, which will be released shortly after this
We have
live
a
stream.
forum thread that we'll have up. That's the best way because it makes it the easiest for us to compile.
It is the best way, forums, but I know
Does she have like
not a
a
lot of you are
filter
keyboard
on
warriors
that
on the forum. So if you
softens
would
her face, like an
out on the
Asian
Discord or on the social
geisha?
medias,
if you prefer to talk, and then of course any social platform, like Stephen was saying, you can leave us feedback.
Yes,
on,
absolutely. Let me think. Was that the last thing? Was that the last thing?
I think that's the last thing.
That was the last thing. We will see you guys
it's
in
always
just
like one
over.
of those
So,
where you're like packing when you leave.
His net worth may say that, but I believe he's put 30 million into this game himself.
All right, we'll see you guys
Already.
in a little bit.
Or he promised to invest 30 million, something like that. So he has, I think, more than 11.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another stream from Vera. And we have a very exciting stream for you today. We are going to be going through the Artisanship system, and it has been a little while since we last talked about Artisanship and showcased the Gathering. And we're going to do a
World looks beautiful as always so far.
Our last stream with Freeholds talked a little bit about processing, and we're going to be doing that today as well. And we're also going to be crafting something pretty interesting. And I have joining me 4 of our glorious team here at Intrepid. Some of them regulars. I think all of them actually regulars, have been on the stream before. We have 2 of our glorious designers, Mike and Corey. Mike, Corey, how you guys doing?
Doing great. How are you? Glad to be here.
Doing very good. I'm excited to show off what you guys have been working on and how far it's come since people last saw it.
Yeah, same here. It's
those clouds are moving quick.
Yes. We also have joining us one of our glorious engineers, Alex. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing very good. You have been doing a lot of work on the engineering side of things,
What are
getting
they
all these
doing?
glorious designs up and running. It's going to be exciting to take a look at that today as well.
Yeah, it's been a challenge. I have to fulfill all the wishes of my designers.
Not bad, was it?
They're like, wait, all of our wishes? That's awesome.
Nice.
The one that passed visibility.
Yes. We also have joining us for, this is your second time now, Nathan. Our glorious
the
producer,
double
Nathan.
feature.
I know, back to back.
I know. The Artisanship is the peanut butter to the jelly that is Node, so I'm super excited to show how these start interacting with each other.
Yes, it is totally.
I'm looking
100%.
forward
You
to
guys
it.
have
Show
done
me.
a great job so far. I know you guys have been really pushing it.
I love this node, though.
This last
They're
sprint,
not
and,
generic
it
like they
has
were in the
definitely
alpha test, where it's
shown
just a
through to me,
square
so I'm excited
and a
to show
wall.
about
This
it.
has actually got like
All right,
levels,
so why don't we talk
lines
a
through
little
the
bit
hills and
about
stuff.
what we're going to be
Super
doing
unique.
today. Corey?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah,
what do you
sounds
guys-
good. You had brought up that you had done a little lumberjacking, but we're kind of interested
Excuse
in
me.
getting into some mining and herbalism because you picked up a recipe. I think it's like you were saying that's a pretty nice sword or something.
Oh,
so
okay. Let me take a look at that.
Weird.
That's going to be in my inventory?
yeah, it should be in your inventory. Yeah. So I was thinking we could go out and get some of the stuff that we would need to
Nightblade.
make that sword.
Okay.
Some of them are a little harder to come by, so I'm not sure whether or not we'll be able to get our hands on that. If not, I think we might have some stuff for you. But yeah, I guess
Oh, a guillotine.
we just need to kind of get our stuff together. As you mentioned, or as I mentioned, you already did some lumberjacking, but we'll
Yes.
probably need to get you herbalism sickle
Okay.
and maybe some extra bags so you have some space.
Sounds like a
So yeah,
good
let's make our way over to the agricultural supply. I think there's one of those built in Winstead right now, so we can head down there and
So now talk to me a little bit about, obviously we have this recipe. When players are looking
Oh,
to
the lights and the
create
little
different items in
inn
the
are
game, they're gonna need to
blinking.
go out and either
That's so cool.
purchase or get drops of recipes or trade with other players. And when
I
they
love that
acquire that
little-
recipe like
little
I have
detail.
here, it says Nightblade. I can use the recipe and I will learn a weaponsmithing recipe for the Nightblade. So I have a recipe book that I get to keep, essentially. I learn these recipes once.
Yep, pretty much. There might be some unique cases where some recipes might have a charge count, so when you craft it 5 times, it might disappear. But generally, most of the cases, all the recipes should be permanently learned.
Okay.
Ah,
nice,
I like
that's
this.
very cool.
Guys, I forgot what that is.
And right
Club?
clicking this is going to consume it, I assume.
And look
but
at
I'm-
Slurpee's
I do
giant
appreciate the
one-handed-
materials that
oh,
go
it could be a
with it. Before
two-hand
this,
sword.
We were talking a little bit about going out and collecting some of these. There's a night opal moon bell. I assume that is some type of flower.
yeah. So the night opal and the moon bells those are the ones that I was kind of alluding to. They're a little difficult to get our hands on. The night opals, you basically can't see them at all during the day, but as it gets closer to night, if they're in the world, they'll sort of push away their shell and start shining a bit, and then
Really?
the moon bells only bloom at night. So we'll have to kind of, maybe we'll work on some of the other things that you need for the recipe, and hopefully nighttime will come around and we can find some of those things.
Okay, very cool. So I'm going to right click
This town is
recipe
busy.
Let's see here. Oh, very cool. Okay, it says learned new recipe Nightblade. Okay.
Yeah.
Now where are we going to go to get this sickle you mentioned?
Oh yeah. So right over here.
Who are we following?
Oh, okay.
I wish they'd said who their names were.
Of the town.
Yeah. So if you head through here,
Wait,
this
what?
is the agricultural supply.
Snail horse.
This is one of the
Whatever it's
service
called.
buildings that you can build in the node. This one kind of focuses specifically on artisanship, and you'll find stuff for herbalism, farming, and animal husbandry here. So if you talk to Mr. Willie over here,
Willie.
yeah, so if you talk to him, he should
Willie.
give you some stuff that you can use to construct your first sickle. So,
Okay.
and then once you have those things, there's a little anvil here over here to your left, and you can craft the sickle there. And then I think once you have the sickle, you can talk to him, and it'll complete the quest and give you your first sickle. You'll be ready to go.
This guy is incredibly rude. We need to have a conversation.
Hey there, Caitlin Hicks. Welcome to the stream.
These vendors speak to the citizens of this village. This is unbelievable.
You joined for a good one.
He said he
Yeah,
just
well,
can't.
yeah.
He can't teach just any drifter. Am I just any drifter? Does he not see the crown on the
Steven,
helmet?
you're a drifter.
I guess not. Yeah, we'll have to add to the mayoral.
How long am I
tags
playing
just so they
AOC?
can,
I'm not playing it. I'm
have
just
a
watching the live
respectful
stream.
speech.
He's not even going to pay me. For
So,
achieving this.
whenever this live stream is done is when I'm done. It'll be over an
Paying
hour
you
at
in
least.
experience.
That is
as,
not enough.
Oh man.
Unless you're asking me how long
I've
have
those
I been?
jobs before.
I've been
Same.
playing since I played it during the early
Oh, that
alpha.
was so good. That
Early
was so
alpha.
good.
Nice.
Oh no. Okay, I have achieved this quest. It's called a Feast of Flowers.
Awesome.
All right.
So
he
you
wants me to show him my crude sickle.
nice. You should do that. We'll turn away.
Right here.
Whoa, whoa.
This is going to be one of those streams.
The game's not out yet, so I
Alright,
can't.
so, what do I need to do with this?
I can't stream
Come
it.
over
It's just
here.
testing
Next to the
phases,
anvil.
Alright.
Yeah, and you.
Yeah.
and they don't allow you to
There's a
stream
little
all of
right
it.
here.
So
We can interact with that, and that should pull up the crafting menu. So as a gatherer, you'll be able to craft your own tools. they're going to take, resources that come from all sorts of different professions. You won't be able to, always source all of those things just yourself. But luckily, Willie's nice, and he gave you some components, and you can kind of just throw them together to make your first sickle here. So
That's
you
cool.
go through the craft.
crafting.
You should get that thing and show it to him, and he'll give you a little pat on the back.
All right,
and
so
send you on
now
your way.
this is a great example as we kind of players as you're
Yeah, I
entering into
played
Alpha
during
2 and you're wanting
the
to get
early
started
alpha
into,
testing last year.
Artisanship. These different professions will have
But
a
they haven't
number
had a
of
testing phase
quests
for
available to introduce players
over
to
a year
their
now, I
first
think.
tool sets, and then from there, tool set sustainability will be incumbent on the player to continue to gather the resources necessary to repeatedly create these tools, because they have a durability that gets expended when interacting with the resources in the open world.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to him again, and yes, I made the sickle.
Good, good.
Okay, now he's criticizing my crude work.
Okay.
All right, but that's fine.
They're only on
all
alpha
know what
testing
your
still.
first mail-
So sometime in
mail
2024,
decision is going to be is
Alpha
destroy
2 will
agricultural
happen.
Yeah, this guy is going to
Defund the agricultural supply.
Yeah.
Oh no! All right, very cool. So I
Oh, yeah, and
now.
You can preview it in Artisanship page actually.
Yeah, once you there you go. You should have your rewards now.
There we go.
Equipped to artisan tool slot. Very cool. So now it is in my artisan tool slot. Should I open it and take a look here?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the follow, Caitlin. I
Perfect.
greatly appreciate it.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
very
So
cool.
yeah, so we have that panel open. This is kind of like the hub for all artisanship stuff. I think we poked around here a little bit in some of the previous streams, but on the right hand side there, you can see all the different slots for the tool
new.
types for each of our 5 gathering professions. So
Awesome.
it looks like you have one of each of the tools that we're looking to use today. You can also kind of
I'm
notice.
already very progressed in my
He's
lumberjack.
lumberjacked a lot.
Oh yeah, you said you're like, what level are you?
I'm like level 9. I'm about to be level 10.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so like while we're out and about, if you hit level 10, you should be able to upgrade your certification to apprentice.
Some
And
customized
that's one of
artwork.
our certification breakpoints.
Maybe.
And
Are you
once
offering
hit those
services?
breakpoints, it kind of opens up a whole new range
you
of
might
stuff
say?
that you can do, new tools. Yeah, exactly right. A new portion of your skill tree. So we should for sure get you that level 10 and see what happens.
Wait up, Steven. We need to prepare for a journey.
Oh, where
Uh-oh.
are we?
Yeah.
What are
So-
you
Get
preparing
some
for?
potential bags.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we
Steven-
talked about this in the past with the,
Steven's so
with the Tetris
distracted.
inventory, kind of having different spatial layouts of our bags and also our resources. And so we've been working on that a little bit and trying to set up bags that have spaces that are optimal for the shapes that are going to be associated with the resources, and having stats on the bags that will change the stack size and how much you can stack stuff up.
Right.
So since we're going out, we're going to collect a bunch of stuff. You should grab one of the bountiful bags from Willie, and then we'll go over to the stoneworks and see if we can grab a
I
mining
also
bag
see
as well.
that Willie has a number of different farmer shirts and novice
You don't
herbalism.
need it, Stephen. Move
or
on.
skivvies. Do I want any gear from this?
Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, there's gear for all of the different crafting, gathering, and processing professions that'll help you, do those different trades. So it's up to you. Like if you said you're higher level in
that's
lumberjacking,
cool,
so
Caitlin.
You could grab some of that stuff.
Yeah,
to
maybe
kind of
I'll
compound
message
on
you
the stats,
after
make
the
you
stream, and
faster
I'll
chopping, or
Oh, should I go
maybe
over
think
to
about
that
it.
guy to buy
Stuff,
that
so-
stuff?
think about what
So
artwork I
from
could
this
have.
guy, let me purchase his.
Yeah, sure. Shoot me a
bags?
message.
Yeah, why don't you grab the bountiful bag from him. The bountiful ones are pretty great. They I think they have the increased stack size on them, so you can stack up more herbs in that bag than you can in others.
I see
also-
that there is a novice herbalism bag.
And if you
Yeah.
scroll down at the bottom, there's Alien Herbalism Basket.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna grab the basket.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Done. I got one of those.
Sweet,
Do
awesome.
I need anything else? Do I need any other bags?
Yeah, let's run over this way to the stoneworks. There's another gentleman over
Okay,
here that
so
we
the
can talk
crafting's
to,
all chunked up.
kind of standing by this crane.
They really need to do
And you can do the same
nameplates.
thing from him. Throw a little gold at him, and he'll give you some
Sure,
bags and
my
stuff.
my Discord's the same name as I am here, Squeetee. So
Novice Bountiful mining bag.
Novice Bountiful. Okay, got it.
Awesome.
there they go.
So now those bags should be in your inventory, and if you right-click them, they'll equip. And then if you go over to your materials tab, you should be able to see those new bags that we got.
Okay, so just real quick, you were speaking earlier about the unique stack sizes as being part of the kind of asymmetric design for bag crafting. And these bags have specifically curated benefits for stack sizes of the type of resources they relate to, and that's the specific profession of gathering and the resources you would gain from those different unique professions. So by equipping this herbalism bag, whoops, let's see here, and then also let me just open up the materials section, and this one, I see now I've actually gotten a unique looking
Oh, I like the
structure
backgrounds.
for the Aelin herbalism basket, and those are the types of structures that you would expect then to gather that are the gatherables for herbalism.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's not necessarily to say that I can't collect
Cool. Yeah, I'll grab it after the stream.
resources.
Thanks, Caitlin. I'll look into it.
And I could put them in that bag, but it just wouldn't utilize the most beneficial aspect of it, which is the higher stack count for those types of herbalism resources.
Yeah, exactly. We can also, you know, there can also be constraints on the shape, right? Like we were talking about, like you can kind of see. I'm not sure what materials you have in your bags, but like I have a couple pieces of wood that are 1x3, and so in the herbalism bag, I'm not sure that there's any slots for pieces of wood that are that size, right? So there'll be some constraints and benefits in terms of shape, and then also the stack size based on the type. So
Okay, cool. Very cool.
That's pretty
So
cool.
now
Like,
let's.
good-
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
So a good example would be if you equip the mining bag as well on top of the herbalism bag. You'll be able to see the shapes are different, but you can see the mining bags are 2x2s and herbalism bags are 1x2s. So you can technically put herbs into your mining bags, but you won't get the benefit of the stack bonuses of the mining stuff,
Love
right?
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
That's very cool.
Oh.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead, Mike. Were you saying something else?
Also, the earlier versions might be very restrictive in sizes. So like the novice mining bags and herbalism bags are very shape restrictive. But as you level up and then make better bags, it might be more generous of shapes. So you could technically do some other things as well, and then have more bigger sizes and be able to hold more variety of things as well.
Okay, very nice.
Excuse me.
I think that's pretty cool. Should we go to the lumberjack?
That is
grab
pretty cool.
those- Were you talking about some equipment that he might have that might help us with our lumberjack?
Oh yeah,
I do
definitely,
wanna
yeah.
level that up.
Sweet.
Weren't they up there already?
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
up here
Okay,
is-
hold on. Let me see here. I also have a quest that relates to we rise after felling.
Oh yeah, that's the certification quest. So as you mentioned before, we're planning on having some content related to onboarding players to the different professions, and you're going to need a tool for the first time, and you're going to want to craft a thing for the first time and kind of learn how to do those things. But we also want to extend that out to kind of more of a individual story arc like experience for players. So as you become a better lumberjack, you'll play out your story as a lumberjack. So these different certification quests are meant to be kind of keystone moments in that story progression. So right now we have something kind of simple set up. It looks like you already had collected all of the wood that you needed, right? But you also need to reach the level needed to even take on an apprenticeship. So I think yeah,
So
see what he's
requirement
got.
to
I'd check out some of the
level up
gear. I think
your-
that will
Right.
Since you're
Okay.
already pretty good with the wood chopping, you could probably get a little faster with the gear that he has.
So he does have, he has a shirt, pants, and I think it's that, and a tool belt. And
Yeah.
each of them are
Yeah.
giving.
You just need the
different
lumberjack
benefits.
stuff, man. This is your
Also, I'm getting
game. How don't you
lumberjack
know
and
this?
speed from the pants and from the.
I assume
shirt.
he's playing it stupid the whole time
And
just
the tool belt's
because
going to give me
he's
processing.
presenting it for us.
Oh, I think you might be looking at lumber milling.
Oh, that's
Yes.
lumberjack,
well,
my bad.
Yeah. So at this service building, we're housing another 3 professions. So there's carpentry stuff here, there's the lumber milling stuff here, and there's also the lumberjacking stuff here. So Woody's
for
going to
one
have
deal.
stuff from all 3. And if you're
Anything
looking to
wood
do any,
related.
woodworking related activities, he's your guy. So.
And that's sort of what we mentioned when we were showing the nodes in a live stream a few months ago, was like your ability to build buildings to really cater to the important industries to your region or to your node.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just take a look here. I know this is obviously, guys. I want to state this again. We always state this in every showcase, but. Everything you see here is still a work in progress. We are working towards our Alpha 2. That includes things like visual effects, like UI. These are all very functional states, but not necessarily at their polished states. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done there. I noticed that we have 3 slots for the equipment that I just put on, and they're not displaying visually, but we do intend to provide that visual display as an option to the characters, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so sub gear.
It would be a toggleable thing that players could be do in the future when we.
Perfect, I like it.
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of assets. All right, so what should we do here? We want to go out and gather some stuff?
He's gonna chop one tree
So,
down.
we're kind of scouting out there beforehand, and we know a pretty good spot. If you're heading out kind of past the smithy, you should see a good old Tower of Carfen out there in the distance. And if you
Good old
head
tower.
a little bit east of that, you can kind of see some like rock formations up there. That's where we're heading. There's a nice little valley in there. I think it has pretty much everything that we're looking for. So.
Okay. I love the autumn look out here. I think it fits perfectly for this time of year. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
We did just have Thanksgiving. Feels kind of a little
Indeed.
bit like Thanksgiving out here.
I want them to do a season
Does feel like
progress
Thanksgiving.
right
It's
now.
beautiful. I really like the colors. It's turning out really good.
Absolutely.
It's my favorite season so far.
Oh,
By the way, does
really?
the Vera have Thanksgiving too, or no?
Hey, no trying to get lore out of me. This is an artisanship focus.
Give us
Yeah,
the
One
lore.
thing you
I'll
won't
try.
leak during a live stream.
I know, right?
The lore.
The one thing.
I really love the leaves falling down effect. Just when you're walking
Yeah.
by. It's nice.
Speaking of
This is a beautiful
leaks,
game.
however,
It really
I
will-
know that I am
Will be
playing
even
the
better in
Ranger
a
class.
year.
You might see a couple of early look at the Ranger skills here in case we run into any potential resistances. But next month we are doing a Ranger update, and it's going to be pretty fun too. So there's a little leak.
Nice.
I see how it is. It's okay for skill abilities, but not for the lore.
That is true.
man.
That is true. The lore is safely guarded.
Unbelievable.
Ooh,
So we do have some wolves. Someone's chopping out there. Is that you,
you're
Nathan?
chopping.
Yeah.
Oh,
Starting to
nice.
get a little
I
jump
I
on
see
it.
it falling in the distance.
Where?
That's great.
Let's see.
Over to the left. I
Sorry,
think he's
missed
up on
it.
that hill.
Are you trying to beat me onto the? Here we go. I'll chop down some trees too. Oh, this is
Right.
ash. We need oak though, right? Or do I need oak?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that
He's
dash will
just trying to
be helpful.
Nathan just trying to become Grandmaster before you, Steven.
Exactly. I will leave
Oh,
this
God.
land a barren wasteland.
He's
There'll be no trees for you to chop.
He sicked some wolves on me.
Yeah, all part of my master plan.
Nice.
Nice. I like that.
Get a few of these oaks, at least enough to level up, and then we need to find some basalt. Basalt is gonna have the zinc and copper that you need. Oh, here's some over on the ridge.
Where at?
Oh, yeah, up the cliff.
Basalt.
Bird.
Yeah,
The
can you
bird's
see
so
him?
loud.
Ooh, that area looks kind of twisty.
twisted and gross.
Yeah.
Ah,
Wolf.
Where? Oh wow. Really aggravating quickly. What? So now this area appears to have a little bit of a corruption that started seeping in. Looks like
Yeah.
the citizens of this town aren't doing their job.
What's their job, though?
Fight back the corruption.
Whole neighborhood's going to hell.
There's
Spooky.
rubies here too.
Yeah. I think you can grab those.
Okay.
Yeah, it's novice.
Yeah, these are the
Mine
new
those
rubies
rubies.
that we just introduced with chaos physics enabled.
Oh, nice.
Thanks to Noah and some magic from engineering. When you see it gather, you see it shudders.
Oh, that's awesome. Love that.
Yeah,
That's
That
super
is,
cool.
that's nice.
Additionally,
Yeah,
if you open your backspace now, you'll see that your mining bag has now rubies, and it prioritizes based on your stack size.
Oh, let me see here. Hold on. First, let me gather a little bit of.
Look for some basalt. I think there's some over here.
Result over here.
To the right. There's one right there.
Yeah,
Oh,
there we
here's-
go.
That's
Right here? No, this is opal.
Nope.
Right here.
Oh,
Opal. I can't even interact with the opal.
No, it's right here.
yeah.
Basalt.
Oh, don't we need opal?
interesting.
I think we need night opal, which is the one that only really appears at night.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, I've gotten some zinc and basalt.
What
Nice.
a day,
Okay, so you
Steve.
got lucky. You got the drop chance.
So this gave me
Yeah,
two
really-
things. It gave me zinc as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So when you're mining stone, like we're trying to do stuff that makes sense, right, with the drops. So in stone you'll find metal and gems, and depending on the the tier and the type of
I like
stone,
that setup. That's good.
there'll be different kind of selections of gems and stuff that you can get in it, or metals. So you may, if you're trying to target a certain metal, you might want to consider some particular stone as well. And as you get better at mining and doing stone related stuff, you'll kind of learn the ropes there, so you can make better decisions.
Okay, that's cool.
I like
Additionally,
that.
as you gather, you can actually notice that your durability goes down for your tools.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Let's see. I'm using this pickaxe. It's at 95.
Nice. All right, you got plenty of durability left. It's good to repair when you get into town, though. So it kind of sucks when you find something real nice and your durability's low or
Everything's
your tool's
broken.
broken and you won't be able to
94.
hit it. Ah, nice.
this
I
is
really love
this
it's
stream
like-
is
I remember in
slow,
the gathering stream, we're
but
showing
I
off
love seeing
the trees.
artisan
Kind of
back
like set up a
bone and stuff
precedent
like
with
this.
how that looks, and now we have to make all the other stuff just as cool.
Yes.
So the rocks and gems and metal were like kind of a big hurdle for us.
Oh, watch that tree!
And
Watch that
having
tree!
it in a place where it's
Oh
starting to
my
look really good. That was super exciting.
That was so cool. That was actually really cool. That should definitely knock you over or kill you.
That'd be great.
Oh, I leveled.
Let's go.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, I've reached
Nice.
level 10. Oh my god, that just
Trees.
killed Mike.
Trees gotta learn how to
Alive.
fall and collapse, not
Can't kill me.
roll.
Grab some daffodils, maybe?
So You leveled up, you said?
Yes, it said I leveled up.
Ah, okay. Well, you gotta. Okay, so when you level up, you're gonna get some skill points, and you should be able to put those in your skill tree. You should pop that open.
There we go, okay. Yes,
Yeah.
I have a bunch already allocated, but now I have two.
Yeah, show me that skill tree.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you should spend those and poke around in the tree a little bit. But yeah, that is something that we're wanting to do with our artisanship. Both, in all three of the branches, you'll have skill trees for your profession. So those skill trees, you'll be able to find passives that'll give you stat bonuses and predicates for extra functionality within whatever the profession is. Access to stations. Expanding out some of the various systems, like you can see some of the surveying ones, right? Like you can add extra pylons or extra scanning range and lower the cooldown on how often you can survey. So we're trying to make those
I like it.
trees
I like it.
interesting and give people different paths so they can progress through.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So obviously, I'm looking at this the skill tree right now, and I see one side is dealing primarily with yield, the other side is dealing with, with rarity, with quality. The other side dealing with yield, and then the survey system.
Yeah.
Talk
What's
to me a little
that?
bit about the survey system.
Pretty sure that's
Yeah, so
new.
surveying is something that we're trying to use for gatherers to really kind of interact with the things that we want to do with our dynamic world. One of those things is we want to be able to spawn stuff randomly.
Ooh, big shot,
We want
big
to
shot.
put it in
Ooh, nice.
places in the world that will make people, travel and bolster up our local player-to-player economies. Have people, kind of actually be out in the world looking for stuff and not standing in the same place waiting for a tree or a flower to respawn over and over again. So we're kind of
Don't you
having
need the
the
moon
best of the
bell?
both worlds, where we have our lower
Buddy
tier
said
stuff
that
that will
was
fill
nice.
out, the base look of our world, so that it's always kind of looking good. And
What's
then the
that?
higher tier stuff from Apprentice onward will always kind of spawn randomly in places that we've deemed look good and make
Is that a
sense for
portal
what that
to
thing
hell?
is. So surveying is a way that you can track that stuff down. It will help you
Excuse me.
find places.
I
Will
feel
help
like
you
Steven
find particular
coughing all the time.
resources. Will help you find resources at a certain rarity.
Corrupted it.
And yeah, so it should be
Interesting.
something you could do as a gatherer on your own, or group up with other people to bolster up the power of your survey, or the range or reach of it. So yeah.
Oh, it says I need a higher certification for this tree. It's
Oh.
a corrupted oak.
Gotcha. Well, you just leveled up, so I bet
There's
you
a
if
demon!
we went back
There's
to
a demon up
town
there!
and-
There's some fucking crazy. Or excuse me. There's some
Demon!
crazy.
Oh no, we're gonna need to bleep that
Oops,
out.
bleep that out. There's some dude up there. That's awesome.
I would say
Steven's
the same thing. If I saw that.
I was shocked.
Or-
Steven!
Away from a gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
back it up
back up a little bit.
Yes.
Yep.
How are you doing on Backspace, by the way?
How am I doing on what? Say again? Backspace, yes. Let me open that up. I have 3 copper, 22 basalt, 17 zinc, 5 ruby, a number of dandelions and daffodils with some plant fibers. Okay, that's cool. And a bunch of
Nice.
wood.
And as you notice, all of those materials actually sorted nicely in the appropriate bags based on your stack sizes.
Oh yeah, that is pretty nice. So it didn't misplace them in a different bag than what is best.
Yeah, it prioritizes basically the best stack size first, and then it finds the other empty spots after.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's a pretty nice quality of life feature.
Definitely. We there was a lot of discussions about the spatial inventory and the different stack sizes, and whether that could cause like confusion for players, or extra stress on sorting of inventory. And I was like, all right, well, no matter what we do, we got to try and make this as easy and usable for players as possible. And luckily, really smart people like Alex and Alec and our UI team,
I like that. That is
the
good.
gang, that are helping us make the system that we want function really nicely. So that was one of those features that came on. That's like, all right, well, I don't have to every single time I get something, look and see what bag's the best for it to be in. The code can do it for us. So
I like it.
Very cool.
nice.
Oh, we
Are we
should,
ready to head back now?
Yeah, let's head back to town and get your apprenticeship.
Let's
Yeah.
do it. Now, obviously, let's talk a little bit about how gathering is a bit different in Ashes. And one of the most unique things about, I think, the world is obviously the number of different systems we have that change world state. We just saw a corrupt zone. Hold on, let's go this dude.
Dud. Took too long, Steven.
We just saw a corrupt zone, and that zone becomes corrupt, after
What if the whole
a
world
period of
becomes
time in which
corrupt?
players are not addressing some issues that arise
That'd be
through
crazy.
certain events,
Like a
or
really
through,
lazy server,
through certain
or
story
like a
arcs,
dead server.
and that corruption can spread, and corruption changes the
I'd
spawners
play on a
for
dead server like
resources
that.
and for
Like most of the
monsters,
world was
and
corrupt and
that
you had to
has
fight
a
it back.
fundamental effect on the resource economy
That'd be
of
really
the game.
fun.
Yeah, definitely. It plays into, you know, scarcity. It gets players out in the world searching for different things that are predicated on,
then you have good
on the
servers
dynamic parts of our
that
world, right? We can do stuff with day and night time.
never
We can do stuff
have
with
corruption.
seasons. We can have things that
You'll
are
never get
specifically
corrupt
related
oak.
to some event or story arc or, you know, corruption. Even
Not a lot.
particular locations, right? The regionality of a biome. Some, you know, frozen tundra place that's completely covered in ice versus, you know, the riverlands and the lushness there. So don't want to just have that stuff
floating
and not
box.
be doing
All right,
anything
cool.
with it. So we're trying to
That's a
play on
close
that
one.
for gathering and
Must be
open
must
up
be magical.
the diversity of stuff that you can process and craft by finding those things. So
Yeah, I love that. We mentioned actually a time of day and seasonality as being part of that world state change. And as I understand it, we have a number of different. Oh, let me see here. Let me go over to.
Where are we going, Steven?
Recipes. Can I look at? We have to. Don't we have to gather some recipes or some materials that are predicated on time of day?
yeah, I think those are the ones that we're talking about that were part of your Nightblade, right? The moon bells and the night opals.
There was moon bells
The
back
night
there, I'm pretty
opals like do not reveal themselves during the daytime. Surprise, surprise. And then the moon bells are similar. Yeah, they only bloom at night. So if you're looking for those in particular, you want to keep an eye on the day-night cycle and know where they're found in the world. And yeah,
I do have some powers if we want to perhaps change it to nighttime.
Change it.
Shall we? Because it'll
let's
take
do
a
it.
little while probably for us to get to nighttime. At least another hour or so.
Start a thunderstorm too
Yeah.
while you're at it, Steven.
Okay.
let's do it.
All right. Hold on. Stand by. Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Now. Ooh.
What was that thing?
It's
Getting
looking good.
A little freaky deaky out here. You guys will probably notice that the nighttime is significantly darker than when you guys last saw our
I
nighttime
like that a
update.
lot, actually.
We saw feedback from the community that
Look at that light
bringing
from the
in field of
lanterns.
vision through the lighting in the environment was something you guys wanted to see, and that's what we have adjusted a bit.
What's with his
Now,
face?
I'm excited because
It's a
have
really
certification
blonde beard.
that I think update now, right?
Yes, you should be able to upgrade your lumberjacking to apprentice, which give you access to new tool, so we can craft one of those if you want. We should make your chopping faster, help you find some rare stuff. Yeah.
All right, let's see here. I'm gonna accept.
There we go.
We've
Ta-da.
done it.
Yeah, so I think if you open your artisanship window, if you look at your lumberjacking, it should say that you're an apprentice now.
Yes.
There we go, and you got
very
a nice little
nice.
chunk of XP from that too. It's
Yeah,
nice.
that was pretty good.
Cool. So now that you've done that, go. I think this anvil. Yeah, this is the same anvil.
This
as
background
the
music is
herbalism.
pretty
see,
good too.
See if you can craft a tool there. What materials do you need?
It says that I need zinc fragments and oak
Apprentice.
timber for novice
Apprentice.
lumberjacking. The apprentice requires zinc fragments with copper fragments and oak timber.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that's all novice stuff. So, so the way that the certification stuff breaks down is that everyone gets to be a novice everything. So all 22 professions the players get to be novice of.
Cool.
And then it starts kind of like narrowing from there. So after that, you'll only be able to be an apprentice of 5 things. You can be a journeyman in 4 things. You can be a master in 3 things, and you can be a grand master in 2 things.
Nice.
So You'll need to narrow, but you can also sort of
Interesting,
diversify to
interesting.
support, you know, the professions that you want to first push further in. So
Now, obviously, those restrictions are in place in order to
That's
create a
interesting.
dependency cross player.
I thought it
action,
was
right?
like you
For
were
how
originally.
to
I
specialize
believe it
your
was like
profession in
super
terms of,
specialized,
trees.
where you,
yeah, I mean,
you
like,
had to pick to become just an armorsmith. Let's
being
say.
social is
Sounds like it's
important to
little-
us, right? Like we want players to interact with each other. We want the professions to make stuff for the other professions that are useful. You know,
Well, it's like master.
influenced quite a bit by the
like
Star Wars
everything.
Galaxies style crafting,
Yeah,
and you know, just
Galaxies, my
having
game.
people in your network that could, you know, supply the metal that you need to make your armor, and the, you know, the flowers that you need to make your potions, and, you know, maybe the potions that you need to make your enchantments. That to me was really interesting, and part of the gameplay, of economic gameplay of, you know, being a good crafter, being a good gatherer, is having that.
I can't wait to
that
do
system.
that. I don't know what I'm
and
going to pick.
it really plays into
what
the
crafting profession should I pick?
economic field of
Anything
a
but
particular
jeweler.
server, right? You can come in and be like, I want to be the potion mogul here, right? And like having good sources, and, you know, having a guild that supports you is just really, really interesting. And without sort of narrowing down what you have access to yourself, it takes away from the ability to achieve that, right? So
Yeah. So now, okay, we're going to be creating this, you said, apprentice tools. What do I need to do that? It said fragments, zinc fragments, and I think copper fragments.
Show me, boss
awesome. So
man.
the zinc fragments and copper fragments are going to be from the metalworking profession, and then the oak timber will be from the lumber milling profession. So since we're here, we can do the lumber milling, and this is the station that you need right next to us. So this is the debarker. This is one of the few stations that lumber milling has. Has the debarker, the head saw, and I think the drying kiln, along with the refinery. So this is the novice station. And I think this is an apprentice version here. Since we're at a service building that's built, the service buildings usually come stocked with some better base stations, and then you can kind of progress them from there depending on how you expand the buildings. But so
That's
why don't
cool.
you interact with this? And yeah, I think this is the first time that we've ever done any processing.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now we alluded to it a little bit when we were showcasing the freeholds, but this is everyone's first look at kind of how processing works. And as you said, we're looking to make some oak timber here. And as I've clicked on the oak timber to add fuel, it says, to the oak timber side. Talk to me, Mike, a little bit about what fuel does for processing.
So fuel is the basic requirements on top of the resources that you need to craft a thing. So every processing stations will require some kind of a fuel to automate the process to make these processed resources. So most of the resources, or any type of resource or items, could technically have a fuel value attached to them, and then each recipe will require some kind of a fuel value to be met to be able to process these things. So think of it as like, if you're melting ore, you need to put fuel to fire to melt the ore, right? So that kind of concept exists on all our processing stations. So when you click on it, you should be able to put the oak wood or anything that you have gathered
Wood.
Yeah.
So I've added one of the oak wood, and then I also have a number of different herbalism resources here as well. Do those act as fuel potentially?
Yeah, most of our resources will have some kind of a fuel value to it, and like I mentioned,
this wood
like
is a fuel value.
But for this recipe, you'll only need one. Some other recipes might need 100 or 50, etc., etc. But the thing is, some items might be just catered towards being a fuel, right? So something like charcoal or something like coal, something like anything that is just designated as a fuel will just have a very
that's what my career will be in the game.
Value. So you
I'll just harvest
for
fuel
recipes, or something
I'll make it like
standard
oil.
You can pretty much use anything that's common or
in this game.
or lore or
and I'll be
Rockefeller, or sorry, the tier 1 items to be in the fuel.
Okay. So I've added in the wood for the fuel, And now it has my fuel has been selected, and I can start the job. It says that the duration is 1 minute. Now I'm noticing at the top of the processing station that we have 3 available slots. Is that a queue that players can use? And is it shared? Is it for just themselves? Talk to me a little bit about that.
For Node, it's personal, so we didn't want to congest like only 3 spots for every single person in the node. That would have been pretty bad. So it's the queue system is only for yourself, but something personal like freeholds would be station based. So if 5 people wanted to use one station at the freehold, you have to wait in line, and then that kind of comes into the family system we talked about on the freehold live stream, where
so your character doesn't do the work.
Limited
it's
access to whoever is viable for
NPC, I guess?
or for the stations. But for any service buildings in the node, it's all personal, so you can queue up as much as you want, and then someone else can just come by and use the same station and then queue up for their station.
That's awesome.
Additionally, it will also be influenced by nodes. So like right now you see 3, but it could be 5, it could be 2 simultaneous jobs, etc. Based how your node grows.
Got it. So there are specializations that the processor can take if the node should elect to do so, and citizens participate in that upgrade that would increase that size, or perhaps even the efficiency of the processing jobs as well. Both
sounds good to me.
Quantity of receipt, any rarity procs, anything.
God, that sword is massive. I want
upgrade potential that the node might choose to specialize in.
Right, but just like what we discussed in Freehold live stream as well, the node processing only goes up to journeyman. So if you want to do the highest tier of processing, you probably want to seek out the freehold owners, basically. Did I
might be full. Hold on. I can't claim it yet. I need to.
Oh.
I need to.
Toss some wood.
Who needs this cheap glint here? Actually, let me move that down. I didn't even.
There you go, Steven.
Okay.
Are you just throwing money away? That's how rich you are.
Pretty much.
Additional thing I would like to add for processing, as you can see, you could cancel the job also. So like, let's say you accidentally schedule the wrong one, and the only thing that gets consumed is the fuel. So fuel is basically a sink for this job.
Got it.
All right,
okay, so
sounds
fuel's
good.
Always sunk, regardless of if you cancel the job or not.
Yeah, another thing as well is that when you're choosing the job, you'll see kind of on the right hand side that we have something called job size.
Oops.
And right now there's only the ability to make one job size, but in the same vein of this having like more jobs that you can queue and like better stats that make them go faster or proc extra resources. Job size is another thing that we could do, right? So you probably don't want to use 3 entire slots just to make 3 pieces of oak wood, but if you had a job size that was 20, you'd be able to make all 20 of those with the one job size. So that's a little different than what people are used to with I'm making exactly 17 pieces of oak timber. You might need to do a job size of 5 plus 1 if you need specifically 6. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
so those are also influenced by customization options that the node can participate in.
I just noticed his name is Planendor.
Policies and or relics, like all those things are an intricate web of boons, benefits, and downsides that apply to these different game functions.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very cool. Love it. All right, so we've made some timber.
Gotcha. Yeah, let's head down to the smithy over here.
Make some smithy
there should
stuff.
Be a crushing station. You can crush up the copper and zinc that you got into fragments, and then we should have what we need to make you a new pickaxe or axe. Yeah. So this is the crushing station right here.
Nice.
Crusher. Wesley Crusher. I hope
It's
all
really nice
of
you
the
to have built all of these
the processing
service
NPCs
buildings. Look at all these jobs
Wesley.
that you're creating. This guy stays here. He gets to hang out all night, crushing rocks, doing stuff.
That is awesome.
Yeah, great for the economy. Really, really great mayorship decisions.
Thank you very much. That's why I'm a term after term mayor. Just no term limits at all. It's the way we like it here. right? My personal investments have somehow miraculously just had the greatest returns of any citizen of the mayor.
Agreed. I think there's only been one other mayor that was Alec, and I haven't seen him for a really long time.
That's
so
right. That is right.
Yeah.
Poor Alec.
His family members actually came by looking for him too.
Oh no. Okay, so I need to make copper fragments and zinc fragments.
yeah.
So I'm gonna kick off. I'm gonna add some fuel here. Oh, okay, cool. That's cool. Put this, and I'll kick that job off, and then I'll use the zinc. Oh my god.
You see the NPC working real hard.
Yeah, he is. Look at that. He's a go-getter. I didn't even start the other job yet. He just immediately went to work.
He needs a raise.
He's got stuff to do.
There we go. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and just a comment too on that, right? Like we're trying to sort of marry the visuals with what's actually going on at the station, right? So if you have a job queued, and you're trying to do errands throughout the node or in your freehold or whatever, right? Like you should be able to look at the station and know what's going on with it. So he's there working, and once he's done, he's gonna stop, and you can be like, okay, there's stuff ready to pick up and have some visuals associated with that. So. As much as we can have stuff, rooted in world instead of, throwing a bunch of UI in the player's face, that's something that we're trying to do and is important to us.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and to add to that, it's personal, right? So it's only like other people won't see you doing your processing.
Got it.
Yeah, in
That's
nodes,
kind of
right,
a bummer.
the freehold ones would be, since they are relevant to
okay.
any of the people that have access to it, you'd be able to see that a job is going, right?
This guy is a dedicated worker.
He's just
Yeah.
pounding away. What stone
Definitely.
is he using to break
So
the
now,
other
just to
stone?
remind folks, obviously, when we talk about processing as one branch of the artisanship tree, even though you have access to all branches throughout the world up to some level of degree, best processing is done on freeholds, and the best crafting is done in nodes, right? When we talk about workstation availability.
I
But there is some
guess.
overlap there, as those of you will remember from our freehold live stream. You do have up to a certain point to progress.
He's done.
For both gathering, processing, and crafting, without needing necessarily a freehold.
Yeah, exactly.
much.
So go ahead, Mike.
Up to journeyman, you'll be journeyman's type of gathering, crafting, and processing should be available pretty much everywhere. And then the specializations really kicks in at the master and above.
Awesome. All right, I have, I believe,
Cool.
acquired now
Oh, it's half.
some
It's
fragments.
2x1.
Right on. Well, let's head back up to the crafting station next to good old Woody Gungan and make yourself an apprentice axe. And I think we should be able to.
Chop that corrupted tree down.
Yeah, that's right.
And then also, now that it's night, while we're out there, you guys can grab perhaps some of the. What were the other ones that I needed?
The night opal. Yeah, I think Mike has high enough mining to get the night opal. And then I think new moonbells are novice, so you should have access to those.
All right, so I'll grab the moonbells.
Perfect.
All right, I'm crafting my new apprentice lumberjacking axe.
That's quick.
Ta-da!
It is equipped.
Nice.
Let me see.
Cool.
Ah, very cool.
Sweet.
It's there.
How fast is it?
It's 30 lumberjacking speed.
Oh, nice. I think the other one was like only 5, so you should be
Yeah,
fast.
I forgot
When we
to
get out there, we should race. See if you can chop the tree down faster than me.
All right, let's do it. I'm ready. Let's
right.
go.
This is fun. I like seeing this because this is what I'm going to be doing a lot
I actually really like the nighttime.
once this
Yeah,
game's
it's
live.
looking really good.
I love the lights. I love those
Tune
lights.
this a bit more.
They're like flickering, like candlelight.
Oh, shooting star. You see that?
Ooh. Let's see, shooting star.
Make a wish.
Oh, I saw the
look at
tail
that.
end of it.
Yeah, I did look at the moon. The moon's looking pretty nice. I think it might need a little atmosphere. I like the Harbinger moon.
We'll
Wait, is the moon getting closer?
Is it? No,
Oh no.
don't say that.
Is the moon following
Over
us?
here.
Kill the moon.
So,
Do it.
Corey, tell me a little bit, like, when we right now we're in this night phase. Oh, I love the fireflies too. Noah did a great job on these.
Yeah, Noah is next level. We love
Very
Noah.
cool.
Noah, we love you.
Obviously, moving to night now is going to give us access to these moon bells and these night opals. But when things like the world state change, whether it be corruption related or time of day, it's not just an introduction of rare materials, it also is a removal of some other materials as well, potentially. So and some world state changes, like we talked about with corruption, if not addressed, can significantly alter the flow of resources across the world in such a way that creates
Those
a bit of
blue
turbulence
flowers
in the
are new.
market and economy. And that's what we're trying to achieve
I
with
think.
these world state changes.
Yeah.
You can see
Yep.
out in the open, the night opals lit up. Those little blue lights all over the
Oh,
place.
okay.
That wasn't there before. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see moonbows as well by the trees.
Interesting.
Okay, so
Oh,
you
the
should be able to grab
moonstone lit
those.
up. That's awesome. Those were just
Yeah.
kind of just basic little rocks.
Yeah, so that's like we thought those were all opals, so they were opals during the day, but at night, some of them are actually night opals. So, pretty cool. Oh, look,
Level up.
again.
Oh, I leveled
You're
up
crushing it.
my herbalism.
Herbalism god.
Literal herbalism god.
Yeah, these
Oh.
moon bells didn't exist before too. We're at the same spot.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh no, the wolf.
Leave me
You
alone.
wanna protect him?
Mike, no.
I'm like max leveled, so I'm just slaughtering these wolves.
Can you pet the dog, Steven? No, but I can shoot it with an arrow in the face.
See if you can
Oh
kill
my
this
goodness.
faster than me.
Wait, let's chop the trees down together.
That's right here, Steven. Right here.
Wait, where you at? Where you at?
Right here. Alright, I'll start.
All right. Wait, no, wait. Okay,
Three,
2,
two.
1, go. Wait, no, we messed up. We can do this. How many people does it take to chop down a tree? Okay.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. You just way
Ready?
faster. I have no
1,
clue.
2, 3. Oh!
That was a lot
Wrecked.
faster.
Excuse me.
Just got wrecked.
this is where PvP starts.
Oh, no.
Excuse me, sir.
Give
Was
me
my
the
lumber?
wood.
He's already purple.
Let's go cut down that corrupted tree.
Oh yeah, that's why we're here, huh? There we go.
Yes. This place
Oh,
looks
demon guy.
so good.
Demon guy. And this is really cool
Oh,
at
man.
night.
There's the spooky dude again.
He's just chilling up there.
Yeah, he's eyeing us.
He's waiting
is.
for the next challenger. Will we approach him?
no. Stay away from
Who's
that
next?
guy.
Yeah.
Oh my
It looks like
God.
one-shot city up there.
I can't get these blood-boiled spirit foods.
Yeah. I could tell you the lore behind that, or never mind.
Chop that tree. And then run.
Yeah, got some of those.
Let me grab this thing. Come on now.
Excuse me.
Oh, bam! Tree explosion.
What do you think, Mike? You want to take on this ancient minion over here?
No,
I think we need to
No.
nerf Steven
Think
counting
so.
time. That was
Sure.
like less than 2 seconds.
Yeah, that was really.
Yeah.
I was like in there and out of there.
Well, maybe a little
I'll be
balancing
taking
pass
authority.
necessary. Take that note down, Mike.
Nerf hammer incoming.
Yeah, do a little balance check
Way
there.
to go,
See how
Steven.
that goes.
Already nerfing lumberjack.
I know.
Yep. Yep.
All right, let's. So now do we have all the materials we need? Did you guys get the night opals?
Yeah, I got some.
All right,
Sweet.
Can trade you back in town.
let's do it. Hold on, let's get rid of this guy. Very good.
My goodness.
Oh,
That wolf just like trip and
he's-
die on
he-
Steven. Oh, not bad.
so now talk to me a little bit about the sword that we're going to be crafting. Obviously, itemization in Ashes of Creation is not restricted based on class, right? So anybody can wear kind of anything, whatever is most beneficial towards their particular strategy and class kit and build. But how do we influence that from a crafting perspective?
So the recipe that you learned
Is he lost?
somewhat of a unique sword. We want to introduce as mid-level, maybe a little bit high, but generally for itemization purposes, we want to have a viable option for every build that players want to try. I know that's a bold statement.
Steven knows where his city is.
Yeah,
I think
like,
it's a little
where
bit
are we
mini map to the left.
Where are we going?
We have a
This
mini
way.
map
Is
top
this
right,
way?
guys. Come on.
Is this way?
I always get lost out here when I take my nightly strolls.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sorry, Mike. What were
To
you
your
saying?
left.
To the left. Got it.
To your left. Okay.
Here's your mini map.
What was I saying? Anyways, I was saying that we want to support every kind of build that the player wants to try out, and I know that's a bold statement, but that is something that we're going to attempt. Which means a lot of crafting recipes will need to support variable stats, variable playstyles, and for this weapon, for particular, it was somewhat of a unique sword because it's a sword that has magic penetration, so something that mages maybe might be able to use, or clerics. And then if we go to the crafting station, weapons right here. See?
All right.
You should give them the.
Oh,
the
right. You
resources,
need my
right?
night
Yeah.
opal. Right. I
Yeah.
can trade you.
Done. Okay, we got some night opals. Sweet.
Accepting trade.
Cool. I like the trade window.
Boom.
Slick,
Got some
clean.
night opal. Let's do
sweet.
this.
Now
Right.
Yeah, so
So now I see I have my learned recipe. The night blade is under weapons category. Okay, that's cool.
Not sure we touched on this on different live streams, but our crafting menus will have some required materials. So those are the things that you must have at that certain rarity. So we have the night opal and the moonbell that's required, and then we have the selectable section where you can put different rarity amounts. You want to do the zinc one first, Steven. So
Okay,
cancel out of there,
zinc
and then
first.
zinc one, and then now you can see that the item itself was uncommon, and then if you add the fragments in.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So the uncommon night blade is here.
That's
but
the
by
default.
adding in these legendary zinc fragments.
If you submit it, now it turns red.
Oh, okay, cool.
And now you can see there's additional properties onto the item, so things change. And then if you put the oak timber, also at legendary,
Also legendary oak. Okay, got it.
and then now it becomes a heroic version of it, and then stats
nice.
increase. So
Okay,
these are
cool.
the things that we kind of want to explore on the crafting side, where we introduce maybe a new stat line or a different proportion or ratios of stats at certain tiers. And when you craft these items with using better materials, the rarity of the item increases. For demonstration purposes, we're using legendary, but basically when you use a higher tier than the recipe is intended for, so we could technically build this item with common oak
Right.
timbers and zinc fragments, then that would produce an uncommon item. But since we're showcasing this at legendary tier, you can move up the tiers and have the stats increase.
That's awesome. And so obviously there's going to be a number of different types of selectables that you can incorporate as part of the crafting process. Each of them have
like
unique
that.
results as part of the stat block for
What
the
do you
weapon,
guys think?
but also increasing the
Share
quality
your thoughts.
predicated on the quality of the selectable that you're contributing.
Right, that would be our sub recipe system that we'll kind of highly touch up on. A common copper sword might have sub recipes that changes the stat block completely, which would be, let's say, a brutal copper sword, which specializes in crit damage. But that would be changing the selectable items from oak timber to ash timber, for example, right?
Yeah.
And then when it's on the selectable level, we can choose the rarity of those resources to increase the rarity of the item produced.
Awesome. And each time you're kind of unlocking a different result with regards to that particular recipe, you're learning that interaction between the selectable materials and the output that comes from it. So learning one recipe actually learns you a multitude of different potential rewards from that one particular recipe.
Yeah, we have something
Craftable,
unique.
sorry, not reward.
Yeah, something unique
Oh,
in
here,
our
bud.
crafting system
Give me
where
your
we want to
rest.
have recipe XP of some sort. And then those sub-recipes could be earned by leveling up your recipe, which means that you have to craft the Nightblade multiple times to level it up to have a better result. So the sub-recipe could be from a vendor recipe or world drops, like we said earlier.
Okay.
But the idea is one type of item can have potential to be multiple different outcomes.
Cool. Awesome.
I like
Let me
that.
go ahead and craft this.
And you don't have to design as many weapons.
We've done it.
Or
We've received
physical
a
objects in the
Nightblade.
game.
The loop is complete.
Oh my god, we made it through the entire loop. Let me
See, it's foretold.
I know. Let's see. Let's take a look at what we have in our inventory here. So I see we have a heroic Nightblade that's doing some physical damage and magical penetration with some magical damage as well. And if I compare that,
I like that
currently-
magical
well,
penetration.
obviously, we have some comparable version there. But let me go ahead and equip this.
Oh!
Ooh, that looks good.
Spiffy!
That's
You're
awesome.
styling. You
I
are styling. You put in the
know.
work, and now you're styling.
Oh, I love it. That looks super cool.
Sweet.
Very nice. Let me see
You want to
here.
raise it up for the fam?
Yeah, I gotta get the right perspective here. Hold on. Stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, we have crafted world first on the Nightblade.
Bro,
We
first.
have done it. Very cool. So, guys, we just walked through from start
And
to
then a random
finish,
barrel guy just
crafting one
walks through.
particular recipe, of course, of many, as itemization is a very key component of player progression within the world of Vera. And as you can see, from gathering to processing to crafting, this is the type of experience and the unique aspects of that
I liked
process
it.
that is
I liked it. I'm
within
happy
Ashes of
with it.
Creation. We do these demonstrations so that you guys get an early look during development
I'm
on the
happy with it.
direction of this particular core loop, this core system to Ashes. And we want your feedback on it. What did you think about the gathering, the processing, the stations, the times that it takes, the queue system for it, the unique interactions with the recipes, the progression of the recipes, the tool dependencies, and the skill tree that you saw, the unique world state that influences the economy
really don't
and the
have any
ability
negatives.
of players to accumulate these resources and move them across the world. We're fresh off of a caravan stream as well, where you kind of see how those materials, those resources,
I'm not sure what I
that
could say
wealth
that
gets
would be
accrued and transited
negative
across the world.
for this setup or positive.
So all of these things are things we want you to opine on in our YouTube, on the forums, on different social medias. Talk to us about what you saw today and how you feel about it. Where do you think that it could be improved, and how it relates to your previous experiences in other MMOs that you've played and what you've enjoyed about them. But otherwise, Mike, Corey, Nathan, Alex, thank you guys for joining me. I know the audience obviously appreciates all the hard work that you guys put in, that everybody on the team puts in. This is a very big effort, obviously, to get these types of systems up and running. I know I appreciate it. The audience does too. Thank you for joining us and chatting with us a little bit about how all the stuff works. And everyone, I will see you guys back on stream in just a moment.
See you all.
Thanks so much, y'all.
Yeah! That was really good. That was really good. Slow, kind of boring at times, but
We hope that you all enjoyed
it's
that.
not an
Lucy
action-packed
was
topic.
watching with bated breath for every single moment, weren't you, Lucy?
Lucy's ready to
but
get out there and craft.
Are you ready to craft? Do you want your
Lucy's
own
like,
sword?
put me down before I kill you.
But of course, we do have some questions that we noticed from chat. Our wonderful community managers have been pulling those in. But while we answer those, I will have the video up, just kind of like playing in the background, so you can kind of relive all the crafting goodness. But for the first couple are more reiterations, because we did answer these questions in the stream, but I think that it wasn't clear because people have been keep asking it post that. So the first one was, how many people can use the crafting stations at once, and is there a queue to use them?
So as it stands now, crafting stations and processing stations that exist within nodes are unique to the player. So meaning there is no limitation on who and how many people can use a crafting station within a node.
Okay.
It's different on a freehold. Freehold, it shares the queue. So if you have family members that are wanting to use the processing stations on your Freehold, those queues are limited on a per job basis, right? Whereas in nodes, because they don't go to the highest tier possible of of processing, those get are personalized. So you saw when I was doing a number of different processing actions, I had my own little queue section up above where I could have 3 jobs running at sequentially. Now, upgrades in the node can change those things. So as the service building that's offering the processing or the crafting, it has upgrades. There are policies that exist. There are certain relics that you can acquire, all of which change the dials a bit on processing yield, processing time, processing job size. Like those things can get adjusted, and that helps players determine where do I want to go to do the things I need to do? Which node should I use? It is important to understand how that node has specialized, because you only have a limited amount of specializations you can do with the service building plots, the policies enacted, and the upgrades chosen.
Makes sense.
Can you provide more details in regards to the design philosophy behind why it's a queue system for freeholds but not for nodes?
Yeah, absolutely. So on the freehold, processing can achieve the highest levels of processing. That's where the highest levels of processing occur. Nodes can only go up to a certain level of processing. Now, we want to be able to throttle the amount of resources that can be processed at any given time in response to the fluctuation and flows of the economy, right? So we want to make sure that the economy is kind of a bigger ship when turning than being able to immediately start processing everything at once and get new resources out as the flow of supply and demand changes within the world. And because again, that's at the highest levels of processing, and you're sharing the available queues that
Makes
exist
sense
at
to
those
me. I already
stations,
was there.
it's going to take time, and it's going to take a long time for the higher level materials.
All right. And
Makes
the last
sense.
one here is more of a commentary in regards to there's been some mixed conversation in regards to this. And I think in the past we've also done a whole feedback thread and report on this topic specifically. But why did you go with a spatial inventory system for resources?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So obviously there's a number of different methods that we can use in an effort to mitigate or again throttle the amount of success that players can have in any one trip out in the world. Right now we're using a combination of 3 things. We are using progression gating through your profession level, right? So
that's pretty common in
need to
games,
have a
yeah.
certain level to access certain resources. We are utilizing the spatial inventory space as a limitation on how much things you can gather before you need to go back to town. And then lastly, we have a tool predicate, where you need to have a tool that is relevant for the resource you're gathering, and those tools
That's pretty
have
common.
a
The
decay
bag
value
inventory
after
setup
each
is
use.
pretty unique, I believe, to
weight is obviously an approach that we could take if we wanted to limit. However, the spatial system works in concert with a number of other types of systems. For example, we want to have itemization drop on death, specifically as it relates to material items. And we want there to be an additional layer above just weight that introduces complexity. And where there is complexity, there is choice, and there is strategy, and there is planning required on behalf of the player in order to set themselves up for the best possible success in certain situations, right? And so situationally, it's unique which bag type you choose. This also gives us a unique progression realm within bags themselves, so that bags are catered towards a specific quote unquote weight class, and that is augmented by the spatial component, right? So as you introduce not just the weight aspect that you would normally see through stack size, but you also have the grid formation of the spatial aspect to again make it a relevant choice when you're leaving town which bags I'm going to have equipped. And we want to have a deep progression in bag choice as well, because it not only interfaces with
you can only go so deep with your bag
but
choices, in my
also the
opinion.
PvP aspect of things, and players can cater themselves towards one of those directions. So, with a broader appeal that the game design provides through having these multiple progression loops that are somewhat disparate in interest, some being PvP, some being PvE, some being crafting oriented, this all provides a matrix of decision making on behalf of the player that I think yields a compelling gameplay loop. And so that's why we're going to do it. Now, it's important to note, once again, this is alpha, which means that these concepts that live, up here and get down into paper, then get down into implementation, there is still an iteration phase that exists after the implementation. And so when we get into alpha 2 and when we test these things, we are going to fine tune them, and sometimes they might be completely changed. That's just the nature of an iterative process. And so we need to understand right now, while you're seeing this in action, it's going to be different when players are hands-on. And we'll be collecting all that information, all those logs. We'll be querying how players interface with these different systems. And we'll also be, very importantly, the next step, collecting feedback directly from the players about these types of systems and whether or not they hit the mark and how they need to be fine-tuned in order to do so, or wholesale replaced.
I don't know what fine-tuning
so
they
I would
can
say,
really do.
as players are participating in Alpha 2, get a feel.
I truly don't know.
Uh-oh. Did I lose you?
Systems and provide the feedback, and we'll see how. Did I lose you? Can you hear me?
You're good now. You froze for us for a moment. I was like, oh no.
There goes the screen.
So yeah, I don't know where I left off there, but that's
basically you were asking for feedback. Definitely share feedback.
Exactly.
We actually have a forum thread already up, so
Excuse me.
So I'll remind you guys at the end as well. But yeah, good. There
Cool.
were some kind of tangential questions in regards to what you were just talking about, specifically because people were wondering about crafting bags and different types of bags, and can like crafters create those bags?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the obvious answer is obvious.
yes, absolutely. That is a wholesale crafting area.
So the next one here is in regards to alt characters. How do we feel about people? Because we provide some details in regards to how many professions and processing classes and things of that sort that you can personally be on per character basis. What if I create alts that have those so that I can cover all of it? Is that something that we're okay with as a company, or
how many alts?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, this is entirely a subjective viewpoint, of course, but in my opinion, if the effort necessary to progress a character to the point where you have access to those types of things is parallel with the effort it takes for your main character to do those things, then that's a choice that you're making, and you're splitting your game time efforts towards two different characters, and presumably so. That's a bit of an asymmetric balance point that gets provided. I think that's fine. And I think that, when we design the game, we
how many
with
alts
that in mind as well. And
per
that's why
account
we have
per
certain
server
restrictions on the number of Grandmaster professions that one particular character can do. Now, when we want to extend those restrictions out from a character basis to an account basis, we do so. And we do so particularly with housing. That's an additional level of limitation that's going to mitigate some of the alt atmosphere for, let's say, owning a freehold, right? That is something that we place as a restriction because we feel that the limited reality space that exists within the world is something we don't want to extend to the alt atmosphere. And so in that situation, a player might have to, get another account or something, or do some obfuscation there. But from the perspective of progressing
3 accounts, baby, I'm ready for this.
Crafting professions and within the processing and gathering professions, that's acceptable in my opinion.
And then the next one here is, will gathering and its noises increase the range the monsters will notice you? So if you aren't being
Fair
responsible
question.
and you're harvesting things and chopping down wood, are creatures going to like perceive that?
Sure. There has been some discussion about that in the past. We have not yet gotten to the types of unique perception behaviors that we want NPCs to have. Right now,
Yeah.
they're relatively rudimentary in their perception, although it is what players would come to expect in the majority of MMOs they've already played. But we're aiming a bit higher, and we haven't gotten to that work yet. But we are talking about things like unique abilities, excuse me, played by characters that extend the perception radius, or sounds and different types of walking that are angular from the mob's perception perspective to be unique. Different types of creatures that might be of three-dimensional in space,
What
whether
is
it
she
is
doing?
in water or birds in the sky that have a
She
downward
just
tone angle
stand
in
up
their
and not
perception
change her height
as
at
well.
all?
Like those,
I didn't pay
those are things we
attention.
want to do, but we haven't yet spent the time on the AI behaviors there.
And then the next one here is in regards to artisan gear, and will it be a viable thing for me to utilize in combat? So if I'm crafting and someone asks me to help them with something, can I just leave my artisan gear on and go out and fight, or will I need to be swapping my armor?
So you will not need to swap your armor. Artisanship gear lives in alongside your adventuring gear.
Good,
And it
good,
will be
good.
a toggle that you can use to display one or the other's visuals. Now that doesn't mean you need to swap the gears. It means that if you want to be seen as wearing the herbalist's outfit, you can. You're still going to have your adventuring gear present and on the character, and benefiting from the
Sounds
stats that are
good.
conferred by them, and vice versa for for the gathering gear or the artisanship gear. Excuse me.
All right. Then the next one here is in regards to upgrading items. So if I create an item at a low quality, will I later be able to upgrade that item when I have the resources
Yeah,
to do so?
yeah. We want to be careful. You know, so
I
right
don't
now, as
know.
you
Make
saw
the
in the
whole thing
stream,
again would be good.
the contribution of materials to crafting an item results in advancing the rarity of that item. Now, that doesn't
Excuse me.
exclude players who don't have the legendary or the higher quality contributed resources from progressing their common item up the rarity tree through enchantments such as scroll enchanting or through tempering the gear. Both of those can affect the quality and the rarity of the gear
Tempering
that
the
you
gear?
can
I feel like
use.
that's a new
But by contributing
item talked
the
about.
resources during the crafting process, you are getting a head start with the higher quality item and now are less dependent on those other avenues to achieve that, which might be,
Oh,
again, a different vertical space of progression that you don't have as good of access to, right? So
okay. I get
it's kind
that.
of distributing that approach.
Okay. And then this
So
is one
there'll
that I've
always be a
noticed a
way to
lot from more
upgrade
of
your
our
gear.
long-term fans who have been with us and on this journey for a really long time. They are curious about what happened to the more manual crafting side of crafting, because we didn't
That is,
showcase
yeah.
that here. We showed
Who is
mostly
that?
fast crafting.
Who's a long time?
A lot of people.
Oh,
We
oh,
saw
oh,
a lot
oh,
of
a lot of. I
a
thought
lot
you
of
said there's
people
one
ask.
person. I thought I heard you say like
No,
we have a long time person who's been asking. I was like, oh my god,
no,
who's
no, no,
that?
no.
Okay,
I meant generally. I noticed this question from
got
people
it.
who are
Yes,
fans for a long time, not
for sure, for
new
sure.
people.
So that is still a work in progress. And you know we want to be
I'd be
careful
here all
when
day
we
if I listed all the
showcase.
names.
Yeah, no, fair, fair, fair. We want to be careful that when we list, excuse me, when we showcase certain systems, that we're doing so in a way that's digestible, obviously, and allows for people to provide feedback. But not all systems come online
Right,
as
you
fast
too.
as we want them to. That
Yeah,
particular
yeah, I
component
remember him
is still
saying
a
that.
work in progress,
That it's not going to be
and
easy,
you will likely be getting an
which
update
is
on
fair.
it at some point in the
That's
future when
fine.
we're ready to showcase it. But it is still intended The question that's outstanding.
I don't mind the
I don't really like calling it a mini.
Yeah,
game
that's
layer,
why I was calling it manual
the
crafting.
I know.
lengthy
confusing when you
time
say
to
new
level
games
and
'cause
all.
it's
At
not
least it'll be
new
easier
games.
if I have one up
Agreed.
there
It's not.
already.
It is a unique gameplay layer. However,
It'll give me a boost.
what I would say is that there's still some discussion about whether or not that occurs on a craft by craft basis or if it occurs at the certification level, right? So when you're certifying up, you participate in the that gameplay layer. But what I would say is hold off on that for a moment. We're still working on that. We will give an update when we're ready.
Also, putting things into a core functional state allows us to test some of those core systems and features so that we can kick out all the bugs.
Did you just jump on Shoe Toy, or did
fixed
you?
a lot of them already. So
Have
there's
you been
plenty
here the
more
whole
will come
time?
along the way as we move towards that more manual crafting process. And then the next one here is, will the skin of the weapons have slight changes depending on the rarity that it's crafted at?
Yes, yeah, you saw there that
This chat never.
the rarity of that
Work
sword was heroic, and when it was equipped, you saw some effects that were kind of pulsating up the weapon. Those types of effects will be yielded the higher quality and or rarity that the weapon is.
Oh, when
it's
I
something
say
that also
when I
is
say
usually
boost, I mean like
conveyed to other
you're going to have the
players,
money,
if
the
not from just an
resources,
assessment perspective, but
you
from,
know, the
you know,
stuff in the
from,
background to
getting some data
help
points
that
on the
character
equipment
off
that
the ground
another player
versus
has.
a truly fresh
So yes,
character.
there are some effects that get scaled up when that happens.
All right, we got two more, and then we'll move
You
on to
should
the
go
next segment.
back
Otherwise, we'll be here all day.
and
Because Vagnar, Roche, and
the
Kazama
artisanship
the next
preview
one here
is
is,
slow,
can a player
tiresome,
of any profession
really good
level learn any
details,
recipe?
and you
Or
get to see
does
some
the player need
crazy
a certain
demon
level to learn the recipes?
in the corruption, which actually I don't know if I
know
just
we've
saw
gone
it
back
here.
and forth on that in the past. I believe that currently you might need to have the appropriate ability to craft the recipe in order to learn it. I believe that's the current approach, but I could be wrong on that. I'll have to double check.
And like Steven said before, everything's subject to change as we test things, as you guys experience things, as you provide your feedback, we adjust things as well. And then the last one here is, can a player equip multiple of the same types of bags, or are bags unique to characters in some way?
No, you can equip multiple of the same types of bags.
How many
They
bags?
can be highly specialized.
Cool. And I think there was a tangential one here was, can people put these crafted bags on their mules as well?
So you said weight could be shared from account.
I'm sorry, my battery just said
yes.
Sorry, say again.
The crafted, can they put the crafted bags on their mules as well? Like the satchels on their bags?
No, no, the mules use the cargo system. So the cargo system is crate based. You have to acquire the crates and then you can equip them to the vehicles and or mules. Mules cap out at the small crate value, and you can add to that crate while in the wild.
All right. Well, from there, we're going to move on to our studio update. I don't know if you want to share some deets on how we're doing, where we're at in regards to studio goodness, but I know folks keep asking about all of that jazz.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Things are going great at the studio. We have gotten some really talented team members who have joined us over the course of this last month that we're very excited about to have.
So he said what?
We are in the process of winding down.
I'm not sure.
Obviously, the studio.
I'm not sure what he said.
The 22nd until January 3rd, and we have a lot of plans to get things done
January
before
2nd,
the 22nd. Oh, until the 2nd.
Come
Sorry,
back
my bad.
Second, yeah.
Got it. Whoops, the studio's like, oh, we're getting an extra day.
Yeah, it's like, I just want to, because I know a lot of them watch the stream. I don't want them to be like, oh.
I know, yeah, 22nd to the 2nd, good call. Yeah. But we have a lot of plans, obviously, to get some things done here before the end of the year. We will be finishing up our milestone 7, which is a big milestone for us, obviously. But yeah, a lot of things going great.
Oh, and he did say that they were going to announce which quarter next year
for December.
Alpha 2 would be released.
I think we always do
next stream in December
contest, and we have fun.
So we'll find a time range next December. We'll get a good 3-month time range.
Yeah, I'm working out the event details on that. So yeah,
nice.
we're gonna.
What could be shared from tune to tune? Gear.
Probably. We'll announce that later.
Money.
But yeah,
a free hold with crafting on
rocking
it.
and rolling. I think we talked about
Resources.
this in the previous live stream, but our attrition.
If you make them a family member, they should, in theory, get access to all of your storage and anything else you have. So it'll give them a boost.
Standard's like 12+%, and well, right now with layoffs,
like,
it's insane.
You know, versus starting as level 1,
We're like 2%,
fresh server. If I got level
so it's
50,
very, very low.
that's been on the server for 5 months. Starting an alt is going to be a lot easier.
So the
Or at
first
least
thing
leveling
you're
them.
going to see is that we are starting to kind of change up our Kalar starting gear. We're kind of addressing those, changing them. You're going to see these for all of the races as we move forward. But feel free to share your feedback and thoughts on them as we continue. Yeah, the fabric looks so good. Yeah.
Why is her eyes like, has she been crying all day?
Materials just look so good. Of course, lighting changes everything. So it depends on like where you are in game, how the lighting is going to look on the armors and stuff like that. The next thing here is a copper weapon set. You're probably going to see these for every type of material. So I think you've seen some of them from previous materials too. In the past.
Ooh, a ball, my favorite.
But we'll probably be seeing more of those as we move forward. Just a lot of weapons and stuff weapons and armors are being made. Tons of them.
A very rich, diverse grouping of.
Well, yeah, you got to get some of these things made for Alpha.
Going crazy.
Questing, drops, and crafting.
Speaking of which, we have some Carfin weapons. We have a dagger and a focus that are being worked on right now.
I like that look.
Shown some
but
of
what
the
is
other
that? Is that a
Carfin
necklace?
as well that you've seen. I like to
They said focus, but that's like an offhand, I thought.
Because obviously that's going to be a fun dungeon. And then we have the Scarlet Remembrance, the little ring that we had. The lore for this is really sweet. Cool. So if you haven't read it, I would highly recommend.
What is it? Just tell us.
And then we have the
Tell us, Margaret.
Which this one was a contention. Some people loved this set and some people didn't. But now you're seeing the 3D.
I mean, it looks okay.
Yeah, it's different too, which I think is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the Bloomfest, which is from that same set.
I could see a lot of ladies riding that one around, clippy-clopping around.
And then
Who did this one?
This one, Bloomfest, was
Jinsey.
Intern, Marlene.
Oh.
Oh my God. Yeah. Marlene.
Get a shout out, Marlene.
Very cool.
And then we have the mature drill spider. This isn't a T-pose, so the little spiky thing is, would be up, not flat like that.
Wait, that's in game? I thought that looks like a sketch.
The Rainrock Fawn. I think I have a turntable for this one too.
So cool.
Very cool.
Looks okay.
You can see us making a lot of different versions of this with the different materials.
Excuse me. I don't like how the hips kind of mimic.
Yeah.
Could be different if it was unique.
This one is one of my favorites. This is the shoal skipper.
So it's a walrus.
What we all look like after Thanksgiving dinner.
I can't
giant walrus.
Ride that thing in the ocean and just like lay down a bunch of mines for ships and stuff. That would be crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Mines? Did he just release mines?
Revenge.
Just have like a squad of these.
Oh, that'd be so fun to see a squad of them. Oh my gosh. In Alpha 1, we all went in the water. We were all on those turtles, you remember? And then we did the barrel roll all in a row like a wave.
Yes,
that was
so good.
That was so fun. I think it was
fun.
with the PI folks when we did that. I don't know if the PI folks remember, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it wasn't with the alpha testers.
That's what happens in private testing. You do weird things because we were having everybody line up and they were like, run to the shore because we were trying to test having a lot of people in one area.
I remember that. That was good times.
Yeah. And with that, we are heading on to our Q&A. So thank you
to
our amazing artists.
The second best part of every
way
stream.
More things than that.
Sometimes the best part.
Sprinkle in a little bit here and there that they're really proud of that they want to share. Sometimes I ask them for additional things that they're not quite ready to share, but I'm like, come on, people will like it. And of course, we keep some stuff for you guys so that you get excited.
Oh, we did say mines and traps before?
So
I don't remember.
On to our Q&A.
I remember like traps in the world. I didn't know water.
From our forums, we always put these up in advance when we announce our live stream. So if you are following us on all the social, you'll be notified of that. And of course, on the forums. The first question here is from Nice Gaming. Thank you, Nice, for also making amazing content. We always love seeing that. They wanted about new player experience. And is there a plan
Never
to
heard
have
of
a
them.
tutorial or quest detailing corruption, the flagging system, etc., as new players enter Vera?
Absolutely. That is not something, however, you will be noticing in Alpha 2. We call this obviously our first-time user experience. The first-time user experience is something that's going to have a lot of love and attention during betas, but is not going to have much attention during Alpha 2. But it is intended for
That's
us
fair.
to have a very in-depth first-time user experience to kind of introduce players to the number of different systems, right? They're not going to be super in depth. We don't believe that first-time user experiences should handhold players through all of the processes and reveal the world, so to speak, but just to give them a shallow touch for these systems so that they understand the concepts and essentially how to navigate. But we want to leave
Sometimes it can be
exploration,
overwhelming to have like a bunch of UI pop-ups. I think also we've been trying to take a more tangible process of like you're learning through the game and not always through windows popping up at you too. The next question is from Narar, who wants to know about stolen glint. This was a contentious question after you talked about this on the Caravan live stream, so I think this is a great one to also clarify. So I'm glad it got picked in the random generator. The question is, will a character be able to loot their own corpse and retrieve their dropped glint?
Pretty sure that's
as
been
normal
asked
glint
before.
again, or is it forever stolen glint the second that the character dies? Does this also mean that if my friends loot my body and gives me my glint back, it's considered stolen? I think the problem here was that you die and then your glint becomes stolen glint, but then if you loot it, it's weird for it to be stolen.
The glint does not become stolen on death. It becomes stolen on looting. And
if as long as it's not you, right?
Correct. Yeah. If you're able to loot your own body, it will not be converted into
Right.
stolen glint. If, however, another player, regardless of their affiliation,
Steven got a headache
the body,
from this question.
The glint will be sunk, and the stolen glint will replace.
Your friends can steal stuff from you. It is true. And of course, the next one is from Lashing, and they want to know about NPC levels. Will mob level keep scaling past player max level as an indicator for power level? I think this is more in regards to at high level, will there still be challenging combat for me beyond that?
Wait, so what's the question?
Yeah, what was
will
the
mob
question?
level keep scaling past the max player level?
Yes. When the game, both in Alpha 2 and when the game launches, there will be monsters whose technical level is above that of the cap. And the intent there is obviously, again, to provide some level of challenge that exceeds a comparable level challenge rating.
Makes sense.
Yes, that is expected.
All right. And then Neurotoxin wants to know about crafting agency. What percentage of an item's specifically like a weapon that hits corrupted targets harder will be defined specifically by blueprint, material, character, skill, the station and region where it was crafted, and by the player's own selective inputs? So I think this is a pretty meaty question, but just, I guess, kind of breaking it up. Where do the power elements come from percentage-wise per the different elements of crafting?
Well, a big chunk of it's going to come from the static recipe value, right? That's going to drive a lot of the stat block. And then, as we saw here, you will be able to influence the quality of the recipe and the distribution of stats within the stat block based on the components that are dedicated to the craft. So that presents a wide variety of potential output from a single recipe. Recipes have the ability to gain recipes themselves can gain experience. You can unlock.
I'm gonna be dead a lot, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to run around in bare bones. No resources, no glint, nothing.
Resources.
Because I'm gonna be dead, and every time I come back, I'm gonna lose like $10 or 10 glint.
That crafters will have access.
What the hell? Oh, all your stuff's there, Squeetee. Don't worry about it. Except for like some glints missing. Don't worry, that's don't worry about that.
And they want to know, will players have the ability to innovate within the crafting system? creating unique items or designs? If so, how much customization can players expect
Probably
when
not
it comes to crafting
designs.
their own gear or items?
They got to make
I
that
think
money.
this is pretty much the same kind of answer that I just gave, which is that obviously there are statically defined an array of results that can come out of a particular recipe. And your ability to unlock those results is predicated on what composition of resources you contribute to crafting that particular weapon type. And so in
All
that
right,
sense,
Chuto, I'll catch you
yes,
later, man.
crafters will
Thanks for
have
stopping
the
by as
ability
always.
to uniquely create certain types of the recipe's results based on how they're contributing resources to it.
Yeah, I think this question is
However,
more
they can't
specifically
just
about creating,
manifest.
manifesting
I
their
was just going to
own
say,
recipe.
yeah, exactly. The result has to have a corresponding recipe definition, and so in that sense, it isn't completely customizable to the point where the player gets to uniquely create these particular items.
So you get a recipe.
Rather, they are
recipe has
what
50 outcomes,
with each
and you
type.
mix in
And then
components to get one of those
sorry
outcomes.
I say your name
Easy.
wrong. Just DM me on Discord or something or forums and let me know how to actually pronounce it. Molux's toes. They want to know about crafting recipes. Will the recipe book be account bound or player character bound? Will there be account while sharing recipes? So can I share my recipes with my other characters, or do I have to do them?
I'm going to guess just character.
This brings us back to the
Yeah,
alt question. And the alt question was, how do we feel about people making alts in order to kind of corner the mastery professions? If you learn a recipe, it stays on that character. And if you want another character to have access to those recipes, they have to achieve those recipes.
Makes sense.
And so in that sense, we're not making it easier for alts, right? It is an equitable amount of effort required in order to achieve the type of payoff you want from these alt characters.
All right. And then Roni Scaponi, I always love that name. They want to know about gathering skills. Do gatherers need to spec into group-based gathering at the expense of solo gathering?
Do they need to? No. No, I do
not
believe so.
So they can spec, they can do both equally.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And then Tiger Blue Eyes wants to know about crafting materials. Are crafting materials going cross tiers? For example, using high-level material in low-level recipes or low-level materials in a higher-level recipe? Is that allowed?
Yes.
And then Phantom X wants to know about crafting skill. As character artisanship skills improve, will RNG in the process go down?
That is a good question.
Yeah. As I level up, am I more likely to succeed?
To a degree.
I hope so.
Well, right now we don't really have a failure chance when it comes to crafting. The RNG chances that we place on itemization live more within the enchant realm and within the deconstruction realm and socketing. Like, that's where RNG comes into play.
What do you mean
Recipe is a
deconstructed?
relatively high degree of
what does he
certainty
mean
when inputting things. You may not know what the outcome of that input's going to look like, but I wouldn't call that necessarily RNG for failure, because you can't necessarily fail that. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. And then Drunk Ninja wants to know about crafting consumables. Will every crafting profession be able to make some form of a consumable?
No, not every crafting profession will be able to make a form of consumable.
All right. That wraps up our Q&A. Woo, we made it through it all.
So, like, weaponsmiths
and of course, we do have
can make the ultimate weapon.
some reminders.
And unless there's like a new meta,
just head on over to our
it
forum.
won't matter. People can use the same weapon forever. That's fine.
We have a forum feedback thread already up there for Artisanship.
2 hours on stream.
Thoughts, what you think you liked from it, what you'd like to see improved.
A long stream.
It was a long stream. Yeah,
Steven's getting tired too.
The video for the 4K version of the Artisanship segment it will be up on YouTube right when this is over. So you can go watch that, pause it, look back, so you can really give us feedback on what your thoughts are. And of course, our team is going to be creating a report for the dev team, which is always something that is beneficial for us. Again, thank you all so much for helping us with Extra Life. There's also a ton of other dev discussions and things of that sort that are over there. We're going to have a delicious one that's coming up with recipes, and maybe we'll do some bonus Alpha 2 keys for anybody who actually creates the recipe and sends us a photo or something. So it's like a bonus.
I'll make some garbage. Don't worry.
Definitely keep your eye out for some fun things that are coming along the way. The Unseen Order Cosmetics will be ending on January 17th at 11 a.m. Pacific. Reminder that this is the last pre-order pack that will be available, and you can check out all the information on our FAQ on our site. And of course, thank you so much to all of you for tuning in. This was a long one, so we appreciate you sticking it through with us. And of course, to Corey, Mike, Alex, and Nathan for helping us with the Artisanship Showcase. They all did an amazing job. I know it is not an easy feat to come and talk in front of a bajillion people. I know people can make fun of folks, so be kind. Developers, that's not our main thing to do. We're making a game, man, and we're just trying to help explain things at the same time. And of course, to Stephen for all of your time. I know that it is precious. We always appreciate all of it. And with that, we hope that you all stay healthy and safe. Like I said, the VOD will be up on Twitch as well right away, so you can watch the whole thing. If you want to rewatch any of the FAQ sections, the video's up on YouTube. Leave us a comment, and next month's or on this dev development update, so when the full one goes up on Friday, and we will be picking a lucky winner to be spotlighted again like we did in this one for next month's in December. Also follow us on all the places. We are Ashes of Creation everywhere. We post stuff almost multiple times a week. It is
Frequently.
We try not to spam you too much, but we also try to make lots of fun, engaging posts. Also sharing with you like lots of cool things.
Man, I feel like Stephen coughing all the time.
Stuff that
it's
doesn't get shown on the
ridiculous.
live stream. So definitely follow us on all of the places so that we can keep you informed on what's going on. And with that, we will see you all next.
That was a long one, guys.
For the final live stream of 2023.
Yeah, is it like 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks away. It's not very far because we wrap up on the 22nd here. Like no one's working on the 22nd at Intrepid, so well, hopefully not.
That's
right.
All right,
everyone. Thank you for joining us. We had a lot of fun.
I'd work through Christmas just for the hell of it, but I'd love to make this game. That's me. It was like a weird background music playing. Oh well. Alright guys, I appreciate it. Man, that was a long... I'm gonna let this play in the background. So I got something going on while I'm saying goodbye. I appreciate everyone that stopped in. There's quite a few people that dropped in. A couple people did chit chat with me. I do appreciate it. And I always enjoy talking to people that have the same interest as me. So next stream is in a couple weeks. Hopefully I will be off for that day. Maybe I'll just say I'm off and do a stream live with them again. But otherwise we'll see. Go from there. I gotta do a shameless little advertisement here. So I got these stickers here. I just gotta do it real quick. Stickers, Gundam stickers. I got that flag there. Bunch of Gundam stuff. I'm a Gundam nerd. Go to my website, squeetee.com. I think I'm pointing in the correct direction. Go there, check it out, see what we got. I got a lot of stickers, flags, mouse pads I have with unique designs. I have 65 more sticker designs coming in within the next month. And I got some other ideas for apparel and stuff. But if you got any other ideas, I'm just going to leave this here. What am I? Oh, who cares? If you have any ideas for me for future, like, items or I'm thinking about making Ashes of Creation stuff. I know I'll probably get sued by Steven, but I'm going to think about it. I'm going to do that. So check out my website, squeetee.com. Go to shop, see my little shop there. You can also find all my stuff on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. 99% of my stuff is on YouTube, so don't waste your time on the other places. It's all on YouTube. And I try to put up a video every 2 to 3 days. Sometimes it's just a gameplay of just pure gameplay. Try and stream when I can. I am building my basement and finishing it, so I'm quite busy doing that all the time. And I'm feeling worn out and beat up. My back's killing me. My elbow, I messed up falling the other day. I'm a wreck. But check out my stuff and see what I got going on down there. That's all I got, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good one, and I will catch you on the next stream.